Hello, my dear friend. How are you? Fine, sir. I am also very fine. So let us begin the next part of the goods and service tax. Concept of time, value, and place of taxable supply. Very important questions. So here we are going to start clarifying this concept with the help of a question. V Limited supplied goods to S Limited. The terms of the contract stipulated that goods are delivered to the factory of S Limited. Goods were removed from the factory of V Limited on September 9, 2022. Remember, goods were removed from factory on September 9, 2022 and were delivered to the factory of S on September 15, 22. Now, the invoice was issued on September 18, 2022 and payment was credited to V Limited's account on October 20, 2022. However, the entry was made in the books when the checks was received, and that is on September 19, 2022. So now, here is the question. Determine the time of supply. Very important. We are going to see what will be the time of supply. So here first we have to check what is the rule under the Act. So as per section 12 subsection 1 of the CGST Act 2017, the time of supply of goods shall be the earlier of the following dates, namely, first, the date of issue of invoice by the supplier or the last date on which he is required to issue invoice under section 31 of the Act, or the date on which the supplier receives the payment with respect to the supply. So now we have to examine the case. However, advance received in respect of supply of goods is not liable to be taxed at the time of receipt. Therefore, the date of payment in respect of supply of goods shall not be relevant for determining the time of supply. Further, section 31 of the CGST Act 2017 provides that a registered person supplying taxable goods shall issue a tax invoice before or at the time of removal of goods for supply to the recipient where the supply involves movement of the goods or delivery of goods or making available thereof to the recipient in any other case. As per the above scenario, various dates are as under we summarized. Actual date of issue of invoice, that is September 18, 2022. Due date for issue of invoice, that is September 9, 2022 as supply involves movement of goods. Date of receipt of payment September 19, 2022, earlier of the entry in books of account and credit made in the bank account. Therefore, as per rule, the time of supply would be the earliest of the above date, that is September 9, 2022. Hello, my dear. It is cleared. Now we are proceeding to the next slide and next very important question. So now question number second. Mrs. A sold goods to Mr. B worth rupees 1 lakh. The invoice was issued on January 15, 2020. The payment was received on January 31st, 2020. The goods were supplied on January 20, 2020. So now the requirement is determine the time of supply of goods. So now answer, the time of supply is earlier of first date of issue of invoice, that is January 15, 2020, or last date on which invoice should have been issued, that is January 20, 2020. Thus, time of supply is January 15, 2020. Here, very important note is given. GST is not applicable to advances under GST Act. GST in advance is payable at the time of issue of the invoice. Question number 3. Miss N provides services worth rupees 20,000 to Miss M on January 1st, 2020. The invoice was issued on January 20, 2020, and the payment for the same was received on February 1st, 2020. Determine the time of supply of service. Hello, my dear. So here, the time of supply of services is earlier of first, date of issue of invoice. Second, date of receipt of advance payment. Third, date of provision of service. If invoice is not issued within prescribed period, the prescribed time for issue of invoice is 38 days from the date of supply of service, that is January 31st, 2020. The invoice was issued on January 20, 2020. This means that the invoice was issued within the prescribed time period or time limit, that is within 30 days of the service. The time of supply will be the earliest of date of issue of invoice, that is January 20, 2020. Date of payment, that is February 1st, 2020. This means that the time of supply of service will be January 20, 2020. Now, we are proceeding to the next very important question. So question number 4. Messrs. XYZ Private Limited undertook service of a director, Mr. T, worth rupees 50,000 on January 15, 2020. The invoice was raised on February 1st, 2020. Messrs. XYZ Private Limited made the payment on May 1st, 2020. Very important question. Now, determine the time of supply. The time of supply under reverse charge, here, very important, RCM is applicable. In case of reverse charge, the time of supply for service receiver is earliest of date of payment. Second, 30 days from the date of issue of invoice for goods. In case of services, that is 60 days. So now, here were very important notes is given. With effect from November 15, 2017, date of payment is not applicable for goods and applies only to the services. Here, notification number 66/2017, Central Tax. The time of supply in this case will be earliest of first date of payment, that is May 1st, 2020, 60 days from the date of invoice, that is April 22nd, 2020. Thus, the time of supply of services is April 2nd, 2020. Hello, my dear friend. This is the reverse charge question. Now, we are proceeding to the next very important question that is related to valuation of supply under GST. So what is the valuation of supply under GST? So GST is charged on the transaction value. Transaction value is the price actually paid or payable for the supply of goods or services between unrelated party. That is, price is the sole consideration. The value of supply under GST shall include any taxes, duties, cess, fees and charges levied under any act except GST. GST compensation cess will be excluded if charged separately by the supplier. Second point, very important. Any amount that the supplier is liable to pay which has been incurred by the recipient and is not included in the price. Third, the value will include all incidental expenses in relation to sale, such as packing, commission, etc. Fourth and very important point, subsidies linked to supply except government subsidy will be included. Fifth, interest, late fee and penalties for delayed payment of the consideration will be included. So this is the value of supply. Very important question. Remember it, learn it and practice it. Now we are coming to the next very important question, which is the practical question. B Automobiles of J has supplied the goods of rupees 2,66,090 to G Automobiles of Ajmer in the month of March 2019. The supply so made was inclusive of tax charged as CGST and SGST, which on the product so sold as per rates prescribed under CGST Act 2017 age 18%. Determine the value of supply as per Rule 35 of the CGST Rule 2017. So now, very important question. So B Automobile supplied some goods to G Automobile at a value of 2,66,090 rupees in the month of March, and the rate of GST and CGST is 18%. And we have to determine the value of supply as per Rule 35. So now, where the value of supply is inclusive of the integrated tax, or the case may be central tax, state tax, union territory tax, the tax amount shall be determined in the following manner. So my dear friend, the tax amount will be value inclusive of tax into tax rate in percentage of IGST, or as the case may be CGST or SGST or UTCGST, divided by 100 plus sum of the tax rate as applicable in percentage. So now let us calculate the value of supply. Let us the value of supply be X. B Automobile of Jaipur has supplied the goods of rupees 2,66,090, which is inclusive of tax at the rate of 18%. So here X plus 18% of X is equal to 2,66,090 X plus 18X divided by 100 is equal to 2,66,090. That is 118x divided by 100 is equal to rupees 2,66,090. So x value will be rupees 2,66,090 divided by 118x is equal to rupees 2,25,500. So the value of supply is rupees 2,25,500. Very simple question. You can solve it at your own. So now we are proceeding to the next very important question, that is question number 7. So M Enterprises had made supply of rupees 5,50,000 to B Enterprises. Municipal authorities of J on such supply levied the tax at the rate of 10% of rupees 55,000. CGST and SGST chargeable on the supply was rupees 66,000. Parking charge not included in the price of rupees 5,50,000 amounted to rupees 15,000. Subsidy of rupees 25,000 was received from an NGO on the sale of such goods, and the price of rupees 5,50,000 is after taking into account the amount of subsidy so received. Discount offered is at the rate of 1%, which was mentioned on the invoice So my dear friend, question requires determine the value of supply. So here answer is given, here particular amount and total amount, the price charged, sorry, price charged is rupees 5,50,000, aid tax charged by municipal authority 55,000, aid parking charges 15,000, aid subsidy from NGO 25,000, total 95,000. If we will add this 95,000 to 5,50,000, it will come 6,45,000. Now we have to deduct discount at the rate of 1% on 5,50,000, that is 5,500. So my dear, after deducting this discount, the value of supply will be 6,39,500. Very beautiful. So now come to the last and very important question, that is question number 8. Will supply of software be treated as a supply of goods or services? Very important question. This is related to the question of older. So answer is development, design, programming, customization, adaptation, upgrades, enhancement, and implementation of information technology software shall be treated as a supply of service as listed in serial number 5 subpoint 2 and subpoint D of schedule 2nd of the GST law. So as per this schedule, the supply of software will be treated as the supply of service. Question number 9. Discuss whether the following transactions will be considered as supply or not under GST laws. Mrs. V buys a car for personal use and after a year sells it to a car dealer. Question number 2. Provision of service or goods by a club or association or society to its member. Very important question. Time and again this is asked in the various examination, and for the understanding purposes, for the businessmen and for the layman for understanding the GST, that is very important. So answer A, this is not a supply under GST because the sale of old and used car by Mrs. V is not in the course or furtherance of business and hence does not constitute supply as per section 7 of this CGST Act 2017. My dear, we have seen for a supply, A, B, C must be present. A means activity, B means business, and C means consideration. So there is no business, no CGST, no supply. Now we are coming to the question number B, provision of service. So yes, provision of service, provision of facility by a club, association, society or any such body to its members shall be treated as supply. So this is a supply. So this is included in the definition of business in section 2, subsection 17 of CGST SGST Act. So thank you very much. Learn, relax and enjoy.